let's say it reinforced our belief in our business model being able to deal with shocks like the pandemic. Did we see a need to change that business model? No, we didn't. Did we see that the business model would be as strong as it was post the pandemic, as it had been? The answer was yes. So the way we looked at the pandemic was that this was a short-term thing. All right, I didn't think it'd go on for 2 or 3 years, but that we would be able to deal with it. You know, we didn't build the airline over 35, 36 years to be stopped by a flu bug. So we were absolutely determined that we would do what we had to do to deal with the short-term issues, but prepare the airline to be a first mover in getting its network and its fleet back into place as quickly as possible. And at the same time, Dubai did the same thing, if you remember. Mass vaccination programs, well before any other country in the world did the kind of thing they did. Opened Dubai in July of 2021, I think, or maybe even sooner. So taken together, and the way the markets reacted to what we did suggested to us that the business model didn't need to be changed. It was very strong.
بعد الجائحة شهدنا سفر الانتقامي. إلى متى تتوقعون أن تستمر هذه الظاهرة في ظل الظروف الاقتصادية الراهنة؟
It's an interesting question, and you know, people said to me last year, do you think it'll last into 23, this demand for travel? I guess if you, to use the favourite expression, if you bang up the global population, lock them at home for 2 years, and they don't, and some of them are locked in their apartments in Italy and we're in China, etc. The pent-up demand is not just a flash in the pan. It's likely to keep going for quite a long time. So that's one red. Do I think the demand will continue as strong as it is? Yes, I do. Our booking numbers going forward to the end of the year are very strong. In some respects, stronger than pre-pandemic. Do I think that the capacity that other carriers bring back into the market will be as large as it was prior to the pandemic? No, I don't. So demand being as strong as it is, production being lower, your prices are definitely probably not going to go down in the next 9 months or a year. After that, you might get some equilibrium. But at the moment, we're still in troubled waters.
لديكم برنامج لتحديث الطائرات بقيمة ملياري دولار يشمل 120 طائرة. لماذا تم وضع هذا البرنامج وأين أصبحتم فيه الآن؟
Let's start why we did it. And the reason for that was that we were getting repetitive delays coming from the manufacturers with regard to engines, airframe, etc. The 7779 contract we signed in July 2012, it was due to be delivered at the end of 19, beginning of 20. It's now not going to be delivered till the middle of 25. The supply chain issues which the manufacturer were facing as a result of the pandemic, and all the things taken together, we took the view that we needed to preserve some of the older fleet for longer so that we were not affected by the 77 program or the 350 program being delayed. We saw what happened in Boeing. So we took that decision to take the old fleet, refurbish them, because we couldn't leave them as they were, including the 380s, to get them into the kind of product level that we want to have based on the last few 380s we've had delivered. 4 classes, new premium economy, new first, new business, new lounge at the back. So all the aircraft are being upgraded, better TV systems to take care of. That means we can keep these airplanes going for quite a long time. If we're affected by more manufacturing delay, engine delays, we've still got the old fleet to support us. I think we're into our 5th or 6th 380s. These aren't done overnight. You know, they do take, the first one for about 2 months. We're actually compressing that now. So I think we're on to about our 6th 380, and they come in one after another. And then we have a second line starting for the 777s.
وبالحديث عن الطائرات، ما حجم الطلبيات المؤكدة ومتى سيتم استلامها؟
The 350 start arriving in August of next year, 24. And by the end of 26, beginning of 27, we'll have had 50 of them delivered to us. The 7779 is due the middle of 25, give or take a few months, and 115 will be delivered to us by 31, 32. So you can see that we've got quite a lot coming in between 2026 and 2030.
وما هي الخطط لهذه الطائرات؟ هل ستضعونها في خطوط جديدة أم تستبدلوها مع الطائرات العاملة؟
Much will depend on what they actually deliver to us. If they deliver to the schedule, that allows us to use things like the 350 to open more points in Asia and Africa and Europe, and in fact in the US as well. And so we'll still need the 777-300ERs, and the 380s we'll keep going as long as possible. When the 777s come along, probably in the early 30s, we'll start to take down the old ERs, because some of them will be very old by then. But if they don't, or they stop, or they slow in their production, we'll just keep the ERs going. But we need to expand the airline. There are a lot of places, surprisingly, that we want to fly to and can't because of fleet.